All right, Detroit Bob, we're back from Iowa, and that was Des Moines, Iowa, and it was a great trip. So I almost have to break this up into 2 episodes. Episode 1, or day 1, will be the record stores, and then episode 2, we actually went to this vinyl brew pop-up, which was awesome. So let's get into it, and I'll show you what I got on day 1, and then next week we'll do day 2. But this is going to be fun. We found some good stuff in Iowa.
All right, Detroit Bob, we're heading back to Iowa. Right now we're crossing the mighty Mississippi River. So here we are on our way to Des Moines, and we were in Detroit last time. So we got some great record shops lined up, and we're gonna hit a concert. It's gonna be a good time, and we're gonna dig some great 45s. Stay with us.
I bought like 50-year-old cognac.
Wow. Which we drank.
Which we drank on a whim.
That's so on a whim.
Just
A game over 60 million we got on this thing?
yeah.
Incredible episode. All right, Dan, explain it.
Alright, we're playing Metallica pinball here. Bob's up, starting to learn the game, working his way towards a multi-ball, and gonna see if he can beat Sherry's top score of 79 million.
Holy shit, 79 million? Whoa!
Maybe not this.
Dan's got a whole repertoire of stuff lined up because he already scouted this whole area and did like a pre-tour before we got there. So we're in good hands. Sherry's at the wheel. He's got a place lined up called Marv's for records. So that's going to be our first stop. But we're down here enjoying this town on a Friday. And it's really not that crowded, and it's really sort of friendly. I'm impressed with this aging Midwest town and how they've sort of given it a little facelift and made it sort of cool. And I'm starting to feel like a hipster. All right, yesterday's rain and clouds are clearing away. We're down near the Capitol, and we got an outdoor concert tomorrow night, Cake. So I'm hoping this weather holds. After pre-gaming last night with some exotic booze that Dan has collected and playing some Metallica pinball, we're ready to find some vinyl. And you know you're in Iowa when you see the Hy-Vee bus roll by.
All right, Detroit Bob, we're not in Shanghai, we're in Des Moines, Iowa. A beautiful river right across from the Wells Fargo Arena. And the world's largest skate park is over here. So all you skate punks can hang out here. You can probably get some exercise going up and down the river. And just a great place to sort of chill on a beautiful day like today. All right, we're down by the river now. Just a beautiful view of the Wells Fargo Arena there. And we're just taking it all in. And the color, the beautiful weather. Very nice view of Des Moines down here. All right, we're walking across the Des Moines River. And we're gonna go into a little district of Old Des Moines where there's some cool vinyl shops that Dan has scouted out for me. So, it's gonna be awesome. All right, a lot of insurance companies down here in Des Moines, but I'll tell you what, it's beautiful. I didn't even know they had a river. And there's the state capitol right there. What's the name of that record store we're going to?
We're going to Marv's.
All right,
Marv's
cool.
Records,
Right.
one of the oldest ones in the area.
Okay, cool. All right, we're going to this place called Marv's that Dan has scoped out. And I like this sign that says, yes, we're open. So we're gonna go in here and check it out and see if we can find some 7-inch vinyl. All right. Cool. Do you guys have any 7-inch?
Any 7?
45s?
Well,
Little ones, yeah.
yeah, these right here.
Are these new or used?
No. Everything in the store is new. We also have some at our other location in Beaverdale.
Okay.
And that's used in vinyl.
All right, cool. It's just like leftover from record store day?
Yep, record store day stuff.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
don't know that artist. Is that jazz? Is it?
I'm not sure. I could look it up and find out for you. Pharaoh Sanders. Let's see. Pharaoh Sanders Harvest.
And your LPs are all new or used?
No.
Ah.
Everything here is new.
Well, and there's Cake Pressure Chief right there. So I might have to pick that up just because we're going to the Cake Con. New, or is it something like an old reissue, does it say? Yes. And then second question, do you have any more Cake besides that one? There's a Cake album over there.
Okay, I'll look and see. Give me just one moment.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. I do a weekly show called Rockmine where I collect records and I go into all these record stores.
Okay.
And so we're actually filming an episode of Des Moines. So
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we said Pharaoh Sanders. And you wanted to know if this is a new release?
yeah, is that a does it say if it's a modern release or is it a reissue?
Remastering and release of his seminal record from 1977.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I think I'm gonna get that. And then the other band I'm interested is in. They're called Cake, and they're playing this weekend in Des Moines.
Okay.
So we're going to the show. Dan and Sherry, our friends, have got us front row seats.
Okay.
So how good is that?
Yes.
Hey Dan, what's the name of that venue we're going to?
Waterworks Park.
Waterworks? Okay.
Have you been
okay.
there before?
Yes.
Is it any good?
Waterworks?
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's
So
lovely.
you vouch for it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. So
Okay.
the band is called Cake. And I noticed you have one LP over there. Do you have any others in stock?
I think that is our only cake in stock right
Well, I
now.
have to get it.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Dan, grab that cake. Is that the last one left?
That is.
Okay, cool. That's got to be rare, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll take these two, and I'll go ahead and put that on my credit card.
All right, sounds good.
That, if anything, it's a good souvenir of the trip, right? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Cool thing about record stores that I've never seen before, this one serves cold drinks. Even the UPS driver or FedEx guy can get a beer.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I won't tell anybody, I swear to God. All right, cool. What do I got to do?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Last name. Great. Okay, and a phone number for you.
You gotta love this rock and roll art. Dan, didn't you see Nirvana back in the 90s?
I did.
Where?
At Palmer Arena. So
Oh my God.
Actually was backstage. A friend of mine was working security, so we got into that show free, watched it backstage, and quite an experience.
Marv's right around the corner. We've already hit it. And guess what? I picked up a Cake album, so how cool is that? Just doing a little window shopping in downtown Des Moines. And there's a lot of these cool stores with unique merchandise. Oh, that's cool. I got some vinyl here. Little John Lee hooker off to the side. That place is pretty cool. It's called Indie House, and they have an Instagram page, and I like that little vinyl display that they had. So vinyl as a decorative element is showing up at these high-end boutiques. So you're at the right place at the right time. Rockmine, subscribe. All right, we're in something called East Village, and it's sort of a hip shopping area. And it's a beautiful day, so here we are. Des Moines is sort of old and new at the same time, but I like how they've incorporated all the old signage. They kept it original. It's definitely a town where I feel I'm gonna find some vintage vinyl. You know what the best thing about Ernie's is? The jukebox is always free.
Even the souvenir shops and the local t-shirt stores are getting in on the vinyl action. So my ears are turned to anything that's black and swirls.
Yeah, Marv's Records. If you're in Des Moines, make sure you stop at this place. It's a nice little dive. All right, we're heading to a place called Z's Records on the other side of town. So Dan and Sherry have actually scouted out this whole agenda. So we're gonna go in there. It says LPs 45, so they're speaking my language. So whenever you see a sign that's telling you what you're looking for, like that one right there, zero in on it, because that's what I'm gonna ask for right away. All right, we got Z's Records. We're gonna check this place out. Doors open. We're in Iowa.
Well, and some of the
Cool. 45s.
45.
Yeah, DetroitBob. I'm a 45 collector, connoisseur, YouTuber, creator. Do you have any? All
We
right.
do some 45s.
Yeah,
Now,
okay.
If you're looking, so you're looking more for like Northern Soul kind of stuff.
I love Northern Soul, but you know, I like some of the 90s stuff too. And new, used. I love used.
Yeah,
You got it?
got it. Well,
Okay.
we've got a couple shelves over here. It's not a huge part of our business. But
All right, cool.
take a look at first row is all new arrivals, so that's going to be just all mixed up, but everything else is just A through G.
All right, sounds good, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hook this up.
Down there, too.
Oh yeah. Okay. Throw on my glasses. Got my little harness going. All right, here we are. What's this place called, Dan? Z's. And he's got a 45 rack, so you know DetroitBob's all about that. So we're gonna start zeroing in, looking for some old label stuff. Dan is actually, I mean, grunge on. I mean, he knows his shit. I mean, he knows his old stuff too. When Dan donated his record collection to the cause, he had a lot of great 70s and 80s bands, a lot of Styx, a lot of REO. Just a great collection of LPs, which rounded out that whole area where I was a little weekend. But right now we're looking for 7-inch, and so far so good. Let's see what we find. I don't need any Barbra Streisand, that's for sure. Frank Sinatra. They're alphabetical at least. Obviously, Dan, anything by Nirvana. But that would be needle in the haystack stuff. Yep.
I wasn't expecting you to get me one of them. If you're gonna ask if I want one, the answer's gonna be yes.
The upsets. That's an interesting disc.
And I'm going to be forever.
Can I just get you something you like? Like, I don't want to be surprised.
Jealous.
You know?
Every single occasion, you can just throw me a record or give me a gift card or a gift card.
Some weird stuff in the V's.
Portugal.
The Vogues. 5 o'clock World was a big one by them. When you're going to these record stores, you just got to be open-minded, and you got to look fast. You don't have all day. Usually, my wife has got me on a time limit, but usually I'm just naturally on a time limit because, hell, we got things to do, places to go. So you don't want to spend 8 hours in a record store. You'll drive yourself insane. So hit it fast. Pick up a few every time you go and get out. That's a good disc right there. Joe Walsh. I might pick that up. That's a nice Joe Walsh disc right there with a picture sleeve for $2. And I think he's probably going to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo act or as part of the James Gang. Check out the condition on this. It's pretty clean. Buying it just for the picture sleeve, basically.
We're going on this tour as like we're a legit band. We got a lot of material. We're just gonna rock the whole time. And we're not gonna change anything.
Obviously, like even anything like Sublime would be huge. I'm looking through the S's now. There's a lot of commons in here. A lot of stuff that are like, yeah, I remember this guy. Like I said, I don't need Barbara Streisand.
We'll see you then. Thanks. Appreciate it. Have a good day.
As you probably see, Dan, that they just stopped making 45s right when you were hitting your Nirvana. It's almost right as Nirvana was hitting stage, they stopped making 45s. That's why they're so rare. Okay, here's Ardeen Taylor. And Indiana Wants Me. We talked about him. He's considered Northern Soul. So right here, this Ardeen Taylor is Northern Soul. Loves Your Name. Indiana Wants Me. Tea Garden and Van Winkle, I'm buying that. They used to be, they used to play with Bob Seger, believe it or not. So I'll pick that one up. That's a good pickup. We got some wild progressive jazz going on in the background. I don't know what it is, but pretty typical. Sylvia Sims. I'm gonna pick that up. Toto, remember them?
Yep.
The big one is the one Weezer covered, which is Africa.
I'm going to be kind of in and out.
Yeah.
Back in,
Yeah, that's
in the
cool.
back, but I've got Doug helping me up front, so
Yeah.
if you see anything, just let us know.
All right, cool. Thank you. So Weezer covered Africa. They put it out on a 45, and it only went to a store called Urban Outfitters, and they only printed 1,500 of them. So I got one of those sealed, and I'm not even going to open it because it's only going to go up in value big time. One of these trendy clothing stores that Christina goes to. And there's like a little promo. And it became like a minor streaming hit.
That's cool.
Yeah. They opened Hard Rock Casino, basically Gary, Indiana. They're bringing in some decent acts. They had the Killers there. They had Weezer there. We're going to see, the old school Smokey Robinson there, end of the month. They got Billy Idol coming in. They got their comedians, this and that. Okay, not seeing anything there. Wang Chung and Warwick. I got way too much of her. Dinah Washington, Cold Cold Heart. I might pick that up. I've had good luck on her stuff. Very jazzy. Grover Washington Jr.
You forget about some of these songs.
Oh, I know. That looks like Third Man Records. I'm going to get it because Jack White's label, Third Man, I don't have this one. So whenever I pick up I see a Third Man record, I pick it up. And for $3.50, that's actually a pretty good buy. The Wii 5. Bob Welsh. Sentimental Lady, that was a big hit back in the 70s. Lawrence Welk, now my dad would like that, but I'm going to pass on Lawrence Welk. Ooh, Mary Wells. I'm going to pick that up. If you remember Mary Wells, she was a Motown star, but here she is on 20th Century Fox Records. She did My Guy and You Beat Me to the Punch. So My Guy was sort of an Motown answer girl song for My Girl, an answer to My Girl. I think Smokey Robinson wrote it. So it's pretty cool. Tony Joe White, Polk Salad Annie, that's a good song. Slim Whitman. The Who. Oh, that's an interesting. Slip Kid in Yellow. I'm picking that one up. Don't think I have that. Hank Williams Jr. I'm a Hank Williams guy. I'm not a Hank Williams Jr. guy. So I guess I'm not buying Are You Ready for Some Football? Not buying it. Bruce Williams in the Style Charms. I'm gonna pick that up for $2. Betty Wright. Ruby Wright. O.V. Wright. Bill Wyman. That's sort of an odd Stones label. Single release. I might pick it up. Any luck, Dan?
Not much.
Okay.
Not much you want to finish a Woody Newton John collection.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Partridge Family.
Yeah. I'm about ready to swap sides with you in a minute here. ZZ Top. I've got it. Tube Snake Boogie. It's a great song. All right, these last two rows, Dan, nothing. Okay. Ooh, rivals, you gotta look through that, right? I might as well hit the B section. You can see how you can almost get into a trance looking through these things. There's some wild Afro-Cuban early Santana in the background, and I'm just flipping away. This is probably the first time I've had an assistant. Dan is working from left to right. I'm working from right to left. But Dan's on a mission to find anything grunge, which is, like I said earlier, needle in a haystack. So if it's going to be out there, Dan's going to find it. So I'm looking for oldies. I'm looking for Northern Soul. I'm looking for rare era stuff. Now you might say, oh, he bypassed this. Oh, he bypassed that. It depends on where you're at as a collector. If you're a newbie, yeah, you're going to buy every hit you ever heard as a kid. If you're in the middle of the road, you start getting a little bit more discriminating. In my case, I've been collecting hard for 4 years now, and I'm really, really zeroing in on the targets that I want, and also this new genre, I'll dare call it, Northern Soul. I have some good picks so far. I know I'm running out of time. We got dinner reservations at a high-end restaurant called Django, which, by the way, is named after Django Reinhardt. So everything is falling in place with a musical theme, right down to the pin table we played at Dan's house, which is themed after Metallica. Can you believe it? I still haven't hit the magic ball, but I know on night number 2 we're going to hit it. Oh, by the way, did I mention we got the Cake concert coming up? That would be awesome to find a Cake 45, but I know you can only get them online. Maybe, just maybe, we might get lucky though. So stick around. Oh, what's this? Oh, a little Beach Boys on Capitol? Good Vibrations? Yeah, you're going to pick this up every time you see it. It's probably the most expensive single that was ever recorded up until that time, when Brian Wilson took months to complete a single song and had the advantage of having a whole orchestra at his fingertips. So yeah, anytime you get Beatles on Capitol,
Beach Boys on Capitol, pick it up. It's probably a good investment. In the meantime, I know that time is running out. The wives are probably going to walk in any minute tapping their watches because we've been in here, it seems like only 5 minutes, but I know we've been in here almost an hour. Where did Dan go? Oh, there he is. Okay, I'm pretty much done, and I think Dan is realizing the futility of continuing to search for a Stone Temple Pilot or a Nirvana or a Mudhoney or even a Metallica. But I'm glad that he's diving in and getting his fingers wet. You know what? This is a labor of love, and you really, really have to dig. These records are priced with some thought. They're not just all $1 or $2 or $3. Someone knows their values when they price these, and they're priced accordingly. That being said, I'm still finding a few that I think are gems, and a lot of fillers, a lot of junk mixed in. But I'm not letting that stop me. Very rare that I have someone searching alongside me. So Dan's just hitting his genre, and I haven't seen him pull one yet. So, but I'm not worried. We're getting through this rack pretty quick. Almost done.
Sherry and I were like, whoa, that must be a good record store.
Oh yeah.
You guys have been in here for a long time.
How long?
A while.
You're being taped right now, so you better be nice.
There's a lot of 45s.
Yeah.
Any Northern Soul, Marv?
Dan, I'm taking it back on that Smokey Robinson one.
Do you need that list or not?
No. I think that might be a little bit more rare, Dan. That one you found.
In the new?
Yeah.
What is Dan looking for?
Like anything from Nirvana on.
Yeah.
And those literally,
Not likely to.
yeah,
But still with what
What
yeah.
should I tell Sherry as first time? Because she needs to go to the bathroom.
About 10 more minutes.
10 minutes? Okay.
To let them, they got a restroom here, I'm sure. Okay.
It's amazing how much heavier that record is.
Oh, yeah. Some of this older vinyl is just thick as hell. I just got Boogie Fever by the Silvers. That was a huge disco hit. Lionel Richie in Motown. So Lionel Richie came up with the Commodores, of course. And the story has it, Motown was like, who do we got left? And they're like, oh, we got the Commodores. Turns out Lionel Richie could write a hell of a song. I think they had 3 times a lady was a huge hit for the Commodores, and they figured out, oh, it's that guy's the one who's writing it, Lionel Richie, and he had an excellent solo career. Chubby Checker on Atco doing the twist and picking that up. Oh, those Northern Soul guys love Chubby Checker. Authority song. Got Pink Houses with Authority song. That's a good record for $1. That's a guy named John Cougar out of Indiana. Remember that band Europe, The Final Countdown? That was their big one. The Final Countdown. They're like a European hair band almost.
Laura Branigan, Billy Ocean. Shannon, let the music play. I'm getting that. I think that was a disco hit. Stephen Eady. I'm about done, Dan. We're done. Yeah. Yeah, we're done. Let me cash out. All right, all those on top were the dollar bin ones.
Okay.
And then the rest were with the stickers on were all the priced. Get out of here before I spend too much money, right?
Right.
You never know, maybe I'll have a Northern Soul in there. Yeah, now you're in the priced ones. How long you guys been open?
About 20 years.
Yeah, I'll try to get you in an episode of my my YouTube. Here we are.
There we go. 5083. It's right in front when you put the total in. Get you a sack, dude.
Appreciate it. All it takes is one gem out of that batch and I'll be a happy man. All right, thank you very much. Yeah.
That's up your side, this top one.
Yeah.
The receipts in the back there.
Got it very much. Have a good one. Thanks. All right. We're good.
What you really want to do is go in the back room and go through the unsorted boxes they have back there. So.
That's where you next time call ahead.
To the end of this building so you can see the mural on them.
All right, this is a cool town. We're just in Record Row here, and there's somebody listening to some vinyl. So when you get stuff like this, and there's wall art and urban graffiti type art, I'm liking the whole vibe of it. Dan and Sherry have definitely led me to the right place. All right, little interesting factoid here. This is the stuff that you drink if you want to get high as a kite. So climbing kites is what it's called. Hey, no judgment, man. It's right there on the menu. It's got to be safe. But it looks good. But I think I'm going to do the safe route and get one of these neutrals right there. That'll go good for DetroitBob. All right, DetroitBob. It's been a
great day. We had a great host. Dan and Sherry have been treating us really well. Nothing wrong with having a little champagne after a heavy day of vinyl shopping. But I'm telling you what, when that guy saw us walk in the store, he knew what we were looking for. Northern Soul. Did we find any? Wait till the end, and I'll let you know.
Wow, you're in the street, huh?
Yeah, I know. This is a great little area, downtown Des Moines. We're going to stop for a drink, and we're going to go hear some music and eat some dinner after that. So we hit a couple vinyl shops. We're happy there. I got a Cake LP, and we're seeing Cake live in concert tomorrow. This little cocktail bar we're going to check out called Hello Marjorie. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, sure enough, Django Reinhardt is a great jazz guitarist that everybody who plays guitar knows about. It's a sort of a European jazz, but this restaurant's got a theme going for him, and it's pretty cool. We didn't even plan this. It just sort of popped into our laps. But when you're thinking music, oh, here's his guitar. I don't know if this is the exact one, but that's probably the type that he played. Very cool. Just sort of fell into our lap, and it fit with the theme. All right, Detroit Bob just got back from Des Moines. So let's see what we got in our bag of tricks. We got a 2-day haul. So I think I'm going to sum up day one, which I have here in this handy dandy little bag. When you're traveling, make sure your records aren't sliding around on the floor of your car. Make sure that everything is firmly packaged, and give me a minute, I'll get these open. All right, Detroit Bob, let's get right into it. First record store we walked into, the Cake album. It was staring at me in the face. I don't have any Cake albums, and this was the last one I bought on CD, I think in 2004. So it's not their best album with the most hits, but I'm looking forward to diving into it because we saw them live Saturday night, first row. And I have a whole new appreciation for the band, their shtick, their vibe, their artwork. I really liked these guys. So I asked the lady, do you have any 7-inch? And she had 2 or 3 7-inch. This was sort of an odd leftover from record store day. I think it's Middle Eastern jazz, Pharoah Sanders, and I don't know if that's Egyptian writing or Hebrew writing, but it looks very exotic, and I don't have a lot of stuff like this in my collection. So I picked it up. I probably overpaid a little bit for it, but that's okay. So let's get right into these 45s. These things were in a shop, and I walked in. I go, Detroit Bob, I'm a collector. He said, oh, you're looking for Northern Soul? But I had Dan with me, and I said, Dan, if you can just help me out. I go, just look for anything from Nirvana on. I don't have a lot in that genre, and they're hard as hell to find. Meanwhile, I was looking for stuff in my wheelhouse. Of course, a yellow label, Who, Slip Kid, I'm buying it. Maybe I overpaid. I haven't priced these yet. Mary Wells, you know I'm hot on Motown right now, so I'm picking that up. I love this cover by Joe Walsh. You don't see picture sleeves very often. I think he's going to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, either his solo or with the James Game. There's my Dinah Washington. Hello. There's Dinah Washington right there. And you know I've been picking her up as I find her, and she really has a cult following. And she's really one of the greatest jazz, blues, crossover singers that maybe not a lot of people have heard of, but for $1 a promo, yes, yes, yes. I haven't heard of Sylvia Sims, but look at that label. It checks a lot of boxes. It's got the double-banded line, single color, obscure label that nobody's ever heard of. It's a promo copy. So yeah, I'm going to take a chance on a record like that all day long. Tea Garden and Van Winkle. You Bob Seger fans know he played with these guys. And one of them, I can't remember which, was in his Bob Seger's band for a while. And there's that Westbound Records label. And I got another one on this label coming up, but it's out of Detroit, I found out. So I'm picking that up. Look at this label. Never heard of it.
the Tempries. Boy, does that sound like a mix of the Temptations and somebody else. It's an obscure looking label. It's in that sort of Northern Soul wheelhouse. It was a good price. I picked it up. Look at this, Cannonball Adderley for $3. I love Cannonball Adderley. And he's sort of dipping into the jazz. So we'll see. We'll see. When we walked in, the first record Dan found, he got all excited, was this Motown. And at first I was like, I don't know. But then I'm like, Baby Don't Cry, Your Mother's Only Daughter. Those are a little bit more obscure. So for the price, yeah, I went back and I said, Dan, good find. Let's pick it up. Buzz Cason on Caprice Records. Look at that pink vinyl, or that red vinyl. I have no idea if this is worth anything, but once again, it's obscure. It's red vinyl. If it's something like Rockabilly on a small issue, 1972, it could be worth a lot. My feeling is that these guys know their stuff. These records were individually priced at various levels. But Beach Boys, Good Vibrations for $2 all day long. And I think I just sold one of these, so I got a replacement. Anything by the Stones right now is hot. Bill Wyman did some solo stuff. And this is Apache Woman, 1976, 78. It's a promo, mono. And there's the B-side, probably stereo on the B-side. So yeah, I'm picking that up. Here's that collectibles label we talked about. They're always twofers, back-to-back hit series. Otis Williams, I'm like, is that Otis Williams from the Temptations? Probably not, but it's got the sound of a great soul album with Gumdrop on side B. Here's Boogie Fever. If you like disco, you know this song. And yeah, you better have some disco in your collection. But, you know, if I were to talk to Norm, he says, that's not disco, it's just good music. So I'm getting away from classifying things as disco. I don't even know if it's an official genre. It's probably R&B. Authority song, John Cougar Mellencamp, and it's got a good B-side. It has Little Pink Houses, the acoustic version. So I've got 3 or 4 copies of this, but for $1. And this was Dan who found the dollar section in the back of the store, which of course the guy steered us to the main high price section. But once we got this, I pulled about 8 or 10 out of there in about 5 minutes. Another great quote unquote disco song, Let the Music Play. And this, wow, there's a dub version, but who knows? It's either worth $1 or 10. Here's that label again, that Westbound Records, and see it says Detroit, Michigan. So, you know, who knows? Byron McGregor, I don't know a lot about him, but I think he was sort of in that 1973. He would have been competing against Motown and Motown X, and that's what that is. So, Chubby Checker, you got to pick up the twist. I'm not a big fan of the twist, but it was like a cultural phenomena. So not only did you have the song, but you had the dance that went with it. So some of his more obscure stuff is on the Northern Soul list. So yeah, you got to know these different artists, and you got to know how deep their catalog goes and what to pick up and what not to. Kool and the Gang. Look at this, Ladies Night, and then the B-side on it was, there you go, Too Hot. So that's a good twofer right out of the box on D-Light labels. And more Kool and the Gang. I don't have a lot of Kool and the Gang, but I'll tell you what, when I was in college, they were playing all the time. Chuck Berry, Johnny B. Good, I think My Ding-a-Ling on the B-side. I knew right away, I go, that looks like Jack White's label. And sure enough, it was a Third Man record release. And it's a 084, so it's early. So I might just start collecting all the Third Man stuff and just try to get a complete catalog. We Are Hex. They look like a young startup band. I don't know anything about them. So the name of the record shop was Triple Z, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it a lot. I got home, and actually that's Triple Z's little logo. I don't know what it's all about, but it's pretty cool. I got home from Triple Z, and I really feel I got a great collection here. And it's always great to get home and you got something waiting in the mail. I had one of those Amazon gift cards, and I thought, it's $25. What can I get for $25? Well, sure enough, I got a limited edition 7-inch Beatles yellow submarine. And the thing about Amazon now, they have free international shipping on certain products. And when you can get Japanese vinyl for free international shipping, you're doing it. So this is 2015. I got free international shipping. It says Dutch, but I could have swore when I ordered it was a Japanese cut. But either way, I'm getting free. This is not a U.S. release. Backed with Eleanor Rigby. The iconography or the actual cartoons on this are very, very collectible. So look at that. And it's always nice to have something waiting for you in the mail when you get back from Iowa. So that's just basically day one. So a big win there. I'm going to total them all up, and we will have a gem of the week just off of our day one in Iowa. So thanks to Dan and Sherry. And I was very impressed with Des Moines, the whole vibe, the little vinyl scene, the microbrew scene, and the concert scene, obviously. So cheers to Dan and Sherry, and let's sum all this up.
All right, Detroit Bob, we're going to go ahead and announce that gem of the week. And here it is right here. It is the Who Slip Kid. It came sleeved in a little plastic outer sleeve. And here you go, the MCA sleeve. And then on the inside, you see that this is a yellow label promo copy. And I looked it up. It's never been sold. So I went ahead and bought this at $5 easily. Anybody who doesn't do that's crazy. And look at the clean quality. That's a very good Slip Kid by The Who. It's stereo. It's a promo copy produced by Glenn Johns on the MCA album The Who by Numbers. And I know that song and that album because that was the first album I ever bought, 1976. It's the same thing on the B-side. A little bit of writing right there, 8 of 76. So look at that, what a gem. All right, here's a Discogs picture of the actual label and then some details. MCA Records promo single. Very good plus sleeve and record. All right, here we got the Who I saw it. Gem of the Week Slip Kid on MCA Records. Detroit Bob, thanks for watching. Great episode. Thanks to our hosts, Dan and Sherry. We had a great time in Iowa. And this is really just half of the story. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and then tune in next week. And we're going to do part 2 where we got into the vinyl pop-up at the brew pub. So some great finds, great Who record that was Gem of the Week. And I'll total everything up. Next episode drops next Friday. Cheers. Like I said, it's a promo copy. It is the Who Slip Kid in a yellow label. Look at that. Good plus, very good plus. It's minimum $20.